Hello there, fellow humans, and welcome to this video. And today I want to talk a bit about the dev answers from WoT Blitz on the Discord server, because some people value my opinion for some reason. So yeah, I want to talk a bit about them and just try to make sense of them, because obviously most of them are just, well, business blah blah. So let's try to make sense of that, and let's try to also do the good thing of shitting on Wargaming constantly, because that's fun. So let's get into it. Obviously, the first one, they want... The question is, can we add historical tank descriptions similar to WoT Blitz, I think. Well, obviously, the question you have to ask yourself, is that going to bring Wargaming money? You don't even have to read that answer, because if the answer to that question is no, then they're not going to do it, obviously. And because that's how business works. But obviously, it would be a nice idea, but then again, Tankopedia is a thing, so there's no really a point of really doing it, because you can just go to the World Tanks PC website and do it there. Then, another statistic there, max damage caused battle. That shouldn't be too hard to do, you know, it's already a thing for the XP, so I doubt that it's going to take too long to implement that, and that's why they're also saying that they are thinking about doing it, because obviously, if a feature that a lot of people want is very easy to do and doesn't cost a lot of money, then they're going to do it, you know. And it would be quite a nice feature to have that, I guess. No, it's somewhat pointless. Just like the HD models, they're cool to have, but in the grand scheme of things, they're kind of pointless, I suppose. But something that isn't pointless at all is the server itself, and you probably had some problems as well, or if you were lucky, you hadn't. And that's the next question right there, because obviously Wargaming servers are at times a complete shit show, which is understandable considering Blitz is first of all a mobile game, and you also have to have it run on multiple different platforms. You have it on iOS, you have it on Android, you have it on Steam, you have it on Windows. So it is already quite hard to make that work together, but obviously, if you would invest enough money to solve all these problems, then they could probably be solved. You know, you just hire 20 more programmers, and kaboom, it's 20 times less bad, basically. But as you can see, obviously they're trying to work on it, because, you know, multiple different platforms, you got a lot of problems. It's not that easy. Still, it's kind of not very funny when a company that earns upwards of 500 million a year can't fix a server. So, but you know, there's that. So I guess for now we'll have to deal with those problems of those shells, bad servers, and whatever. And one tip that I can give you is to switch servers if you have another account, because that may solve some of the problems. You know, if you have horrible connection on one server, it might work on the other. But then, this is a very, very interesting topic here. Is there a way for Wargaming to automatically ban all the players with the extremely untrustworthy tag in military honor? Well, there should be, but there isn't. And they said right there that it isn't a tool for banning players, even though if you do go to the military honor on your account, you can see that there is a tab that says bans, effective penalties rather. So I kind of don't believe you on that. I think they tried to make it a feature for bans, but then it didn't work out, because obviously the military honor is obviously very stupid, and it's also very one-sided, as in you can't report as many as you can praise. So there should be bans, obviously, but that's not going to happen, because Wargaming wants money, you know? And if you ban people, they're going to spend less. They're not even going to ban bots that farm credits, because, you know, those buy premium tanks. And then, reworking maps, you know, it's a cool thing. Don't really care about it. I don't see a problem with Lost Temple. The only thing that might be there with that map is that everyone just went to the field, because obviously that's the better option, as always. So, yeah, Mirage, it didn't really work out, you know, it was a very, very one-sided map as well. But I hope that they can rework it and then make it like Rockfield, where it went from shit to good. And then, another shit, we have the funky bling bling camos, which, I mean, whoever asked this, legend, absolute legend. Or for more historical camo. Well, here's the thing, what is a 12-year-old gonna buy? A fancy blinking thing, or a plain realistic item? Answer yourself that question, you know where they're going to do the bling bling. It's quite simple. Something that is more interesting, something that shines out more, is going to tend to be bought more, because obviously camos are a sort of form of individualization. So the more funky it is, the better it is to do that. And obviously the tank fans are going to buy the historical camos, but everyone else is just going to go for the funky ones. So another very, very good topic here is that the matchmaking is shit at the moment. If one team has 2 medium tanks, the other one has 1 medium tank, and you're on mines, you lost the game, basically. So, obviously, what this says here, balance the matchmaking more. Why are they not doing that? Why are they doing that one rule? You know, where, like, one team can have one more. Then battle time. The connoisseur of gameplay is going to say, hey, but, you know, I would rather wait 2 minutes for a great match than 1 minute for a shit match. But you gotta remember that the majority of Blitz players are most likely under 18, and most of them are probably impatient. So the longer you have to wait, the less interesting the game becomes. And that's, again, you don't want to lose players, so you make shit matches that happen often rather than good matches that happen a few times, because, you know, the more matches you get it. What also is shit is platooning. That's 2 platoons, 2-man platoons at 7v7, which completely makes sense, you know. 3-player platoons wouldn't really work, because if you have a 3-player platoon of super unicums, then the win rate's going to be upwards of 90%, easily. However, if you have a platoon of decoys, as 40%ers, then your win rate is going to tank into the ground, as if it already isn't. So, that's not a good idea, I'd say. You know, 3-man platoons ain't a cool idea. Maybe for special modes, you know, for mad games, stuff like that, that would be a cool idea. But for random battles, that is a horrible idea. Because it would just take the random out of random battles. Because then that platoon, the skill of that platoon, is going to basically decide the match. And then you also have to have another 3-man platoon on the other side. And if one's the unicum or one's a decoy platoon, you know what is going to happen. And there we go. Wargaming, will they ever improve the models and skins of all the vehicles? That's not really a thing that I particularly care about, you know, like, the graphics are less relevant than the gameplay experience, because if the gameplay experience is shit, the graphics don't matter. But obviously, Wargaming is working on it because, you know, their graphics team is probably 10 times bigger than their balancing team, it seems, you know, because depending on how they turn out the camos and stuff like that. So reworking the tanks is a cool feature, but, you know, you should definitely focus the effort somewhere else and make the game more balanced, and obviously resolve the issue of medium tanks being influential but very hard to play. So yeah, with that hope of disappointment, that's it. See ya!